What's up guys, there's Cousin here and welcome back to another devlog of Habitslayer. In this one, we're going to talk about money and specifically, we're going to look at how much my application has made in terms of revenue. Spoiler alert, it pretty much didn't make any money. I just made $6 so far after working on this application for a year and a half. So let's talk about it. All right, so what you're looking at here is my revenue cat dashboard. This is what I use to handle all of my payments on both iOS and Android. And this here is the last 28 days of activity on Habitslayer. And you can see here, we have 3 active trials, we have 1 active subscription, and more importantly, over here, in the last 28 days, Habitslayer has made $6 in revenue, which honestly hurts a lot because after working on this application for so long and dedicating so much time to this application, only seeing $6 in the last 28 days is a little bit disappointing and I wish I had more. But there's actually a silver lining here, and I'm actually super grateful that this number is at least higher than 0, which is very, very important. Because typically whenever you have an application, a game or anything, it's really hard to go from 0 to 1, right? From 0 paying customers to 1 paying customer. But the moment that you do that, the moment that you find somebody that's willing to pay for the application, that usually means that you can find another one and then another one, and then your revenue actually grows. So the fact that we have $6 here, right? Even though it is very low, and I completely agree, and I do wish that it was higher, at least it is higher than 0. And this gives us hope that we can actually find more users who are willing to find value in paying for Habitslayer. Right, so that's the revenue for the last 28 days. And then I want to look here at the customers because essentially my goal right now is to try to figure out how can I improve my conversion rate, right? From all the users that are using Habitslayer, how can I improve the amount of them that actually pay for the premium package on Habitslayer? That's the entire goal. I did it with 1 person. So now what can I do to bring more of those to actually pay? And if you look here at the new customers in the last 28 days, we have 892 of them, which first of all is great, right? Because I'm getting all of this organically without really doing much marketing at all. When you take these customers here and you compare them to the amount of revenue and specifically where that revenue is coming from, in this case, it's an active subscription, you basically want to divide these 2 numbers. You want to take 1 and then 892, divide that, and that's basically your conversion rate, right? If I come here and I do 1 divided by 892, you're going to see that it's 0.0011. So that's 0.11%, which means that my conversion rate currently is 0.11%, which is extremely, and I mean extremely low compared to the standard. Typically, what you would want to see if there's actual value in your application and if you're doing things correctly, is you want to see at least a 1 to maybe 2% conversion rate, which means that for these amount of customers over here, I should be seeing at least 10 or more active subscriptions, and my number over here should be somewhere closer to 100 instead of 6. So the fact that I only have 6 means that there is definitely something wrong with the premium package and the premium offering in the application, and my job now is to actually investigate and try to fix it and try to do something to move the needle on this number here and hopefully improve the conversion rate. Now I want to scroll down here because there is more hope, because you can see here I actually have a few users who have attempted to purchase inside of the application, because what I do offer is I offer a free trial on both the monthly and the yearly subscription, so you can try it for free for a couple of days, and then if you like it you can then commit to actually having a subscription. So I have here a couple of trials. I have here what, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 trials over here. I believe it's 6 because these 2 are the same. Whenever they convert, they get a different entry. I have 6 people that have actually pressed start trial, which is great because that's more than 1, right? If I go here to my analytics dashboard, I've showed you this last time. I'm using PostHawk for this. This over here is my paywall conversion, right? So this is how many people get shown the paywall, which I will show you how it looks like in just a second, and how many of those actually purchase. You can see here those 6 people out of 498, so out of 500 people, that's a 1.2% conversion rate, which is kind of in the lower part of the range that you typically want it to be for the application, right? So out of 500 people, 6 of them chose to actually start a trial and showed intent on actually purchasing, right? Which is good. Now, of course, the conversion rate is not that because only 1 of them has an active subscription, because after the trial, as you can see here, pretty much all of them have canceled the trial except 1, and that's exactly the one that I have revenue for. over here. So that's currently the state of the application. Now let me show you the actual paywall and show you how monetization actually looks like on HabitSlayer, so we can maybe try to figure things out. And then once I show you, if you have any ideas, any thoughts, or anything like that, please do leave it in the comments down below. I would love to get your insights so we can together hopefully improve this and make this profitable. So when it comes to monetization on HabitSlayer, there's two camps. There's in-app purchases with these diamonds over here, and then there's an actual paywall, a monthly subscription. Let me first show you the in-app purchases. So here I have diamonds. This is another currency that you have in the application. This is pretty typical for like games and apps like that. And you can basically buy a pack of diamonds, and these are the prices over here. So it's $1 for 10 diamonds, 5 for 60, and so on. And these diamonds over here essentially allow you to purchase cosmetics in the application. Something that is very important to me is to not make this application pay to win, right? So you can pay to get the best gear, the best stats, and defeat the best monsters. That's not what I'm going to do at all. I hate when games do that, so I'm not going to do that. Instead, you just get cosmetics and some quality of life improvements for your experience. So for example, we can go here. We have some legendary swords, right? These are worth 20 diamonds each. And you can see here, this is what they look like. They have no attributes whatsoever, so they actually are just, cosmetics, right? They go on top of what you're already wearing. So you can wear, for example, a diamond sword, which actually has the attributes to fight the monsters, and put this over it just to make it look cool. And you can see here how this is going to look. This is my character and this is the sword here. This looks really cool, right? It looks better than the normal swords that you get with coins, and that's a reason to make this a cosmetic and to buy it with diamonds, right? So I have all of these items here. I even have like this royal set, which I think is really cool. If you want to look like a king, right, why not go for it? I also have these party hats over here, which I'm very proud of because this is basically RuneScape. I have all of the party hats in the same colors, right? I have a few on my character because I just love RuneScape and I love the concept of party hats. And then we also have some quality of life improvements, which is these potions here that basically give you a boost of coins. So here you're basically getting double the coins every single time that you do a habit for 30 completions. So you can buy this multiple times if you want. And then here the same with an XP boost, you get double XP. Same for 30 completions over here to basically speed up your process if you want to spend a little bit of diamonds, right? So that's the diamonds. You mostly purchase them through this market here. You do get some for free because I wanted to give you a taste and just not completely lock all of this. So you get about 20 diamonds for completing the beginner objectives, and you also get a few diamonds on a very low chance every single time that you do a habit, and that's enough to give you a taste, right? And if you want to accumulate, if you use the app quite a lot, you can accumulate some diamonds and then you can eventually buy some cool things, which some users have actually done. So even though I have like only one subscriber over here, I can show you this user, Demonic Derek over here. This is a cosmetic over here. So he bought this with diamonds that he probably got from the beginner objectives and so on. And I believe there was another one, but it's no longer here, that had the flaming sword. So users do like the cosmetics, but unfortunately not enough to actually pay real money for them. And then we have here the actual paywall subscription. So here when you go to the settings, you're going to see here the actual paywall. You can click this and get the paywall shown up, and this is what you currently get for paying a monthly subscription. So first of all, the subscription, you can get it for 30 days, you can get it for 12 months, or you can also get lifetime and just pay one price, and then you unlock it completely forever and you never have to pay over again. For that, what you get is you get all of these benefits here, which are going to grow in the future. So for example, you can play as an elf, orc, or undead. These are premium races, right, that I did talk about in the previous devlog. You can customize your character to have a premium race, and that requires premium, so you unlock those. You also get double XP, coins, and item drop rates from all the monsters and all of your habits, and this does stack with those potions there, so you can effectively quadruple your amount of XP that you got, right? So that's another benefit. You also get double the inventory space. You get all of the analytics of the habit, which is actually useful, and then you can also purchase diamonds with coins instead of spending more money on the diamonds. And this here is capped at 50 diamonds per month to basically give you a little bit of diamonds for your subscription while still requiring you that you use the app to get coins, because you need to change coins to your actual diamonds, right? That's kind of the way that this goes. And then of course we have the backup and sync across devices, so you can actually save your database in case you change your device or lose it or whatever, because currently that is not saved. All of your data is pretty much local to your own device, right? So that's the paywall. I think that this looks good, but I did post about this on Twitter quite a bit, and a lot of things came up, which is, first of all, all, this copy over here, the text here, maybe isn't selling it as much as it could, or maybe it's not really showing the benefits as clear. There could definitely be some room for improvement there. And then another thing is the prices. It is currently, I think, way too expensive for what you're getting at this point in the application. Because if you think about it, right, this lifetime here is 80 bucks. Like, that's not even the price of a AAA game. AAA games are expensive, right? But they're usually around 70 bucks. So 80 bucks to unlock Habit Slayer in its current state, I think is way too much and doesn't really make sense. And this was an omission of my part to have put that there, and I will change it. I will reduce the price across the board, because also 12 months for 47 is also expensive. And then $5 a month, that's like old school RuneScape back in the day, right? It's still a little bit too expensive for what you're getting currently. When I build more features and I add dungeons and I add a lot more items and stuff, maybe then it can be justified, but for now I think it's a little bit too much. And of course you can see it here by the fact that nobody has actually used that subscription. So my first plan, which I'm currently working on, and maybe by the time that you're watching this devlog it will already be out, is to completely slash the prices in half across the board. 30 days is gonna be $3, so like $2.99. 12 months is gonna be $24.99, so 25 bucks, and lifetime is gonna be, I believe, $47.99. So we can just see how that goes. Maybe those prices are still too expensive. I want to do it step by step, right, and see, okay, is it still too expensive? Maybe I drop it again. But keep in mind, I am going to be adding new content to the actual app to make the subscription more valuable, so you're gonna get more for the amount of money that you're actually paying. One of the things that I'm working on is, I talked about it previously, I'm working on dungeons, so I will give you here a sneak peek. I have dungeons over here, and some of these dungeons, as you get into the higher level ones, are going to be premium, and these dungeons will actually be dropping more exclusive cosmetic items, which is also another reason that you want to get premium. So that's a lot more value for your current subscription, right? And I'm planning to add more of these, maybe also add quests, maybe add like special quests and stuff like that. So I am building out the content for this application to make your subscription worth it. And that's kind of my plan to improve this conversion rate over here, right? So that's what's going on with the monetization of Habit Slayer. So as I said, I think in the previous devlog, or even the first devlog, I'm currently working on this full-time using my savings, just because I love this passion project and I really want to see it succeed. But to be able to do that, I'll need to have some monetization for the application. This needs to make some revenue to support the development. Otherwise, I am going to have to go back to contracting as a developer, and that's going to leave me a lot less time to be able to work on Habit Slayer, right? Like, nothing would make me happier than to be able to actually make revenue for this to sustain the full-time development of Habit Slayer, because then I would actually pour a lot more into it. I would also create like a game and just become like a full app and game developer, right? So if you have any ideas, any thoughts, any opinions on anything that I shared in this devlog, please do leave them in the comments down below. Let's see what we can come up with, and I will absolutely keep you updating on how this goes once I change the price, and also once I add the dungeons to see if it moves the needle a little bit in any way. So there you go. That's it for this devlog. Thank you so much for giving your time to this. I'm super excited and hopeful, and I will keep working hard to make this work. Thank you for your time, and I will see you in the next devlog. Ciao, ciao.